We are back in the woods, ladies and gents, after a week off, a week in which I found myself in Italy for no good reason other than that I just felt like it. But I won't bore you with that because we are here to shoot some good macro stuff on the Nikon Z8 105mm macro lens. We've had a lot of rain over the last few days, but that is splendid news for those of us that like to scrub about on the forest floor and photograph squishy things. So that's what we're going to do, scrub about on the forest floor and photograph some squishy things. So let's crack on and see what we can find. Right, the first shot, ladies and gents, is this little fellow here thrusting his way up out of the moss on this log. Compositionally, not sure what I'm going to do. I might even go wide and put him slightly off centre, but we'll see. So I'm going to set that up and see how it looks. Right, we are set up on this little chap, ladies and gents. Here he is, thrusting up out of this moss. We've got the log here with this sort of horizon is at a bit of an angle here rather than being completely horizontal, and this chap is sort of coming up across the middle of the frame here. I know I did kind of tease the idea of putting him off centre, but he's pretty much in the centre there. I did experiment with the composition where he was more over to the side here, but there was just too much empty space, so there he is right in the middle again. So we've got two LED lights. If I just point them out, you can see there's one to the left of the subject here, and I don't know how well you can see it, there's a bit of wood and a leaf in front of that light, and that's casting a bit of a shadow here. Otherwise this area will be too bright, be much brighter than the centre of the shot. Then we've got an LED on the right of the subject here. Did I just say the previous one was on the right? I'm not sure, it's on the left. This one is on the right, and that has a piece of log just there. I don't know how well you can see it. That is casting a shadow across here because this area would otherwise be too bright as well. If I just turn both of those lights off, then you can see what the shot looks like with no lights. If I turn the right hand light on, you can see it's lighting the background here, but it's also helping pick these little bits out. Otherwise these would disappear against the dark background here. So if I just flick that light on and off a couple of times, you can see what that is doing. So if I turn that one off and then turn the left hand light on, you can see it's picking out a lot of the texture here, and it's lighting up here. There's a bit of sunlight here which I might have to block off in a moment just before I take the shot. But if I just turn that light on and off a couple of times, you can see what that's doing. And it's helping to pick this part out against the background. So bear with me just a moment. I'm just going to go and block that sunlight off on the left-hand side. Right, we're back, and you should be able to see from one of the other cameras that I've got a reflector here on the left-hand side that is not reflecting. All it's doing is providing shade here so that this area doesn't kind of become light and dark throughout the focus stack. So we're going to stack it. I'm not sure what else to say about this. I think although the background is dark and this part of the subject is dark, I think we've got just enough light from the backlight to pick out the details against that, so I think that's okay. So we're going to stack it. I'm going to focus in the middle here. I will just check with my autofocus. Then I'm going to draw the focus towards me just to make sure that I don't miss the focus on any of these little bits or anything down here that I might want in the stack. So we're going to shoot 30th of a second, f5.6, ISO 64. Meter says we're about right, which kind of we're half dark and half light, so I think it's probably about right. So we're going to stack it We are going to go 100 shots, step width of 1, and I'm going to shoot that now. So looking at the final shot in the stack, we are well past the subject. All this stuff is coming into focus behind. So we'll pick the frames we want, stack them, and if that shot looks okay, here it is now. Right, that shot is done, ladies and gents, so we are going to crack on and see what else there is to shoot. I don't know, what does sit at the bottom of the sea and twitch?
A nervous wreck.
A nervous wreck. The next shot, ladies and gents, is this little twiddly thing. Who knows whether that camera's going to focus on that? Maybe, hang on, if I cover my eyes, maybe it will. Maybe it won't. It's that thing anyway. It's a little twiddly thing, and I'm going to set that up and see how it looks. Right, we are set up on this little chap, ladies and gents. You can see he is offset slightly to the right and slightly higher in the centre. I think that just makes a nice position in the frame, really, with this nice dark plain background. You can see we have two LED lights, one on the right hand side of the shot here, and that is providing this light round here. And if I just switch that light off, you can see how that goes quite a bit darker here. If I just switch it on and off a couple of times, then you can see the difference that makes. So we've got another LED on the left hand side here, and that is providing this light under here and some of the light around here. And if I switch that off, you can see how dark this is here. So if I just switch that on and off a couple of times, then you can see the difference that makes. So this is a very simple shot. We're going to shoot at f8, 15th of a second. Meter says we're 2 stops underexposed because we're using average metering across the frame. We've got a light subject on a dark background, so 2 stops under is about the right exposure, I think. So we're going to focus on this front edge here, which is right there. I'm going to check that with my autofocus. I'm just being dived on by some sort of insect, ladies and gents. So let's draw the focus towards me, just to make sure we don't miss any of these little bits and we don't miss focus on this little piece here. We're going to focus stack it. We are going to go 100 shots, step width of 1, and I'm going to shoot that now. So looking at the final shot in the stack, you can see we are well past the subject, and if that stacks nicely, here it is now. Right, that shot is done, ladies and gents. Don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you are not subscribed, if only for the reason that I made those little graphics entirely myself. But anyway, I'm going to call it a day. I will see you next time. Cheers.